In this demonstration, we'll take a look at the Monitor tab within the Juniper Web Device Manager, which will allow you to keep a close eye on the device and verify its status. The first thing I'm going to do is log into the Juniper Web Device Manager, so I type in my username of root and my password. Now, once logged into the Juniper Web Device Manager, you'll notice that up top we do have a Monitor tab. And the Monitor tab is used to monitor the health of the system and just verify the configuration of the system without actually making changes to the system. So when I click on the Monitor tab over on the left here, you'll notice that there's a number of different links. Now, I've got a pretty clean device here. I haven't really made a lot of configuration changes, and also there's not a lot of activity going on with the device at this time. So what I want to do is just kind of show you the types of options that you have available on the Monitor tab. So the first thing here on the left-hand side, when I click on the Interfaces link, you'll see the status on the different interfaces. So we can see here the ports have shown up. We can see the administrative status of those ports, whether or not they're up or down, so enabled or disabled. And we can see whether or not there's a link detected on that port. So we can see that my fast Ethernet 0/0/0 is connected and is functioning. So if I scroll down and take a look at some of these different interfaces, you'll see that there are no links detected on some of those different interfaces. So that's kind of cool. You can also see down below here, we do have some counters that are available from a monitoring point of view. So errors, whether those be input errors or output errors, also packet counters, so input and output packet counters. So they do have some graphs there kind of showing those statistics, which is kind of nice. The other thing that we do have, which is kind of nice, is we do have a reports section over here on the left. And with the reports section, what's kind of neat is we do have a threats link. And with the threats link, you can see, the number of antivirus hits, right? The anti-spam hits. So you can kind of get an idea of how the security of the device is kind of working and what kind of threats the security of the device is preventing. So that's kind of nice there. Again, I haven't generated any activity, so you can see here I don't have any antivirus hits or spam hits. So the device hasn't blocked spam messages or viruses, that kind of idea. But they do have a report section for you to see that information. You can also see some stats on the most recent threats down below here, which is kind of nice. We also have events and alarms here over on the left, so you can view alarms for things that maybe need some attention on the device itself. Now they do have an alarm filter where you can go and filter out and take a look at alarms from a specific date and time if you wanted to, or a certain severity level. So you fill in the filter information, like from this date to that date, and then hit the go, and it'll filter out your list of alarms so that you're only seeing the alarms within that date period. So you can see here I have 2 alarms. Their severity is minor. And it's just let me know that I haven't created a rescue configuration yet. And also the auto recovery information needs to be saved. So that's where you can see any kind of major problems with your device. We also have events here. So you can go to your view events where you can kind of look at the contents of your different log files if you wanted to. So again, you have the idea where you can filter out the specific events that you're looking for. So specify the log file that you want to read, specify the dates, the range of dates to look for specific events. If you have a specific event ID that you're looking for, and then you hit the search button and those events will appear. Same thing with your security events. You can look through a security log for specific information. So that's very useful. We also have a system view where you can view chassis information if you wanted to. So we can see things like the routing engine module, we can see the model of the device, we can see the serial number on the device. And what I like is you can start getting some stats as far as utilization on resources for that device itself. So memory utilization, we can see we're using 46% of the 2000 megs. We can see the temperature of the device, the start time of the device, and then the CPU load within certain time periods. We can see the power supply status is okay. So lots of good information here as far as the chassis goes. And then from a software point of view, you can monitor your software configuration. So things like monitoring NAT and the security of the device, your VPN features, the wireless LAN features, your switching features. So if I go into switching here and Ethernet switching, you can see things like the MAC table information, right? So that's kind of very useful. So we can see that we do have 3 entries in the MAC table. And then we can see that down below here. So that's very useful. Same thing with routing. So you can view the routing information on the device from this monitor tab. So I can see here the routes that exist. So we have the 192.168.1.0 and 1.1 routes. Also notice that you do have the route table that you want to view the routes of. Then you can also view RIP information. Now I haven't configured any of the routing protocols on this device yet, but had I have configured RIP, you could view the status on the RIP routing protocol or the OSPF or the BGP protocol. So those are lots of very useful features to be able to kind of monitor and keep a close eye on. And same thing as I continue on other features, so different services on the device, PPPoE, also DHCP functionality, so that's down here in services as well, so you can view the stats on your DHCP server. So that's very useful, right? So I can take a look at the pools up top here, and I can see, we've got the 192.168.1.0 pool, which has, this starting address going up to that ending address. So lots of great things that we can kind of keep a close eye on from that monitor tab. So in this demonstration, you saw how to monitor your Juniper device through the Juniper Web Device Manager.